Hello Stamping Crafters, welcome to my craft room. This card was made using the Pretty Print embossing folder by Stampin' Up. I also used the mixed bunch, and on this one I didn't put a sentiment on because it's always sort of a card that I try out. So I generally don't put a sentiment until I can use it for somebody or someone, and then I can add the sentiment then. But today we're going to put a happy birthday sentiment from the Hey You stamp set. I'm also using the punch to punch out the flower twice, because it's punched out once just from paper and then once the stamped image. Now this middle here fits really nicely on this card, I think, but unfortunately it was just a one-off. Somebody gave me this, fitted the card, fitted the colour, so I used it, but I'm going to create a nice middle using some Stampin' Up buttons. Right, let's get to it. So first of all we're going to stamp the flower, because we're going to have to make it nice, so it needs to dry. So we're going to stamp the flower. I've just added some ink to my pad, so it's going to be juicy. See if that looks alright. Yep. Okay. Did I mention I'm going to try and make 2 cards in one go? See how it goes. Let's try and stamp again. With this flower, it's important that you stamp down with 1 petal. It's for the punch. You'll see later on that it will. You need that for the punch. Let's see if we can work this out. See, this way, if you stamp one of the petals straight down towards the edge of the paper, there's no cutting or anything trying to find out how you're going to put it in the punch, because it just does it like this. And I like this image the best, so we'll use this one. I'm using Wisteria Wonder and Whisper White paper. Uh-oh. Careful when you take it out. Then I'm going to just stamp another couple of plain flowers. Right, so that's that done. I have already embossed this because it's a lot with the Big Shot on the table, so I've prepared these. So I've got 2 of these, and then what I've also done is I have prepared as you notice on this one, I used some ribbons, but unfortunately I don't have any ribbons that go with the Wisteria Wonder, so I was thinking of just putting a layer of Wisteria Wonder like this, a ribbon of Wisteria Wonder, and then putting the sentiment on the white and putting the sentiment on here. So let's stamp that. This is not going to be able to go on to that paper completely. The little squidgy lines at the bottom will fall off, but that's, I'm sure, not a problem in this case. I have put it on the stamp, on my block with lines, so I can actually line it up nicely. See? You can't see that it was meant to have the squiggly lines under there, so let's try and do this for the second time. I'm desperately not trying to put my head in, but otherwise I can't really see. There we go. Another successful attempt there. So that's that. Then we have our flowers, and we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to curl them up like this. And if you do it a couple of times, the flower will really stand out. So it will really stand up. And we do that with the white ones, but also with the stamped ones. I love using my bone folder. I don't only use it for the cards, you know, for scoring, but for all kinds of things. That's why it looks black, because I use it for my ink pads to smoosh the ink down into it when I refill it. I really should use an old bone folder for that. Keep this one nice and pristine white, but never mind. It doesn't come off the colour, so it's okay. So that's the first flower done. Let's do the second one. Okay, and we're now looking at the base of the card. So this is an A4 sheet cut in half and scored in half again. So we're going to have a folded card lengthways like that. So you go over it with your bone folder. When you've scored it, you always fold towards the mountain, and that way it doesn't crack. So we've got our two cards, we've got our two layers onto here, we've got our ribbons onto there, we've got our flowers, and I have made a button to go in the middle of here, which now I notice is not white. So we're going to have to come up with a different... This is quite nice had I used a white piece of paper, but unfortunately that's not the case, so I'm going to try and create something on a piece of paper here. So I'll just stamp this out. Might need to do that again. Okay, and I will try and stamp it out with this one here. See, that one might give me a nice effect in the middle. So that's the small scallop punch, or 7/8 of an inch, and we can attach that with some dimensionals, and we'll put a pearl on top. Now the thing is, I bought these pearls without knowing somewhere else, and no sticky on the back, so I'm always having to put some glue on there. I don't know how I managed to buy those. I wondered why they were on special offer. Anyway, so we'll put a little there. There we go. I can't wait until I've got the Stampin' Up pearls. There we go. See, that will look nice. So, we'll need a second pearl, and as I have put the other pearl on that, I will just take one out of the packet and put some glue on it and stick it onto the middle that we created there. Right, okay. One more thing before we assemble. On my original card I put some colour on the side, so I think I will do that here as well. So dauber and flick onto the sides like this. And if you're careful, you can actually only hit the raised bits. That was my intention, but sort of on the sides I'll make it darker, but sort of, can you see that it goes more onto the raised bits, of course, because that's catching the ink. Now you could actually take your ink pad and drag it over, but personally I think that's a bit too much of a good thing, actually. So I think that looks nice, see? That gives you a little bit of a, you know, the wording stands out a bit more when you do it like this. And then the flowers go on top. Yeah, that's perfect. So I've made a card using one of my own sort of sample ones that I make of an evening when I don't know what to do. I sometimes sit and just, you know, tinker about a bit with my stuff, and then I come up with these cards, and then after a little while I think, maybe it should have done it this way, I should have done it that way, and that's what's happened now. I've done this card before. I made it with the things that I had, but now that I'm concentrating on Stampin' Up, obviously I need to replace some things, so that's what I've done here, and hopefully you'll think that the result is just as nice or even nicer than my original sort of sample card. I have to say I've got quite a few more of those sample cards that I'm going to be posting videos about very soon. So, you know, cards that I've made previously but that I'm now sort of adapting to make sure that they are Stampin' Up ones. There we go. This layer is 1 inch wide, and this layer is 3/4 of an inch wide. I'm still gluing off camera because my ink pot is not yet empty, and well, I might as well finish it before I replace it. We've got a flower here, right, putting it on there, another one here, and I'm going to put it a little bit sort of off so you can see the second layer of flower there, right. And then I need some dimensionals again. I'm putting them on off camera. It's just, I like to be a little bit correct, but I also want to use up my supplies. There we go. And that's our card finished, apart from the inside. So we have copier paper, and I had just now, oh yes, here we are. I'll use that little stamp for inside. Take this one off for a minute. Use this one for the inside. 1, 2, 3 stamps. See, that makes a nice gradation of colour. And I'll put some glue on there. And I will glue that on the inside of my card. And then, there we go. Right, so here we have it, a happy birthday card made with Wisteria Wonder card, with Wisteria Wonder ink, and the Blossom, the mixed bunch stamp set, and coordinating punch with the Hey You stamp set for the happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed this video, and look out for some more videos on some of those cards, like I said, that I made, but not necessarily strictly with Stampin' Up, but that I will change now to be Stampin' Up. And subscribe and keep an eye on my channel. Bye!